Hey, this is Al Angelo from A Plus Racing, bringing you a video how to get your car up there where the trophies are. Hey, have you ever had this problem? Hit it, Destine. All right, that's good. Yeah, I hate that problem. And it seems like it's happening more and more and more. Well, I want to show you something that could possibly be the problem with your car. And I'm running into this a lot, and I'll show you the ways that I haven't been able to figure out how to fix it 100%, but I have figured out a way how to make it not happen very often, if at all. All right, here's where I find the problem. Come on in tight here. This guy right here. See that relay? That's the main relay right there. And that's the one that seems to be causing all the problems. Now, it just pops out, and yeah, sometimes you really got to fight it to get it out, but it does come out. And I've seen them where they have been melted back here, and it's gotten really, really hot. And that seems to be the problem. And when it does happen, and I feel this, it's really hot. Now, I want to show you something. This is a relay out of an NB. Not that it makes a difference. They're exactly the same. I'm going to show you something here. Okay. Go ahead and crank it. All right. So it starts, okay? So if you've got a car that you're driving along and it dies and you can't get it started, I'd be looking at that. Also too, this car actually was at Laguna with this relay in there. And the guy raced it all day Saturday and had a great time. We parked the car. He came back Sunday morning. We're going to go off for practice, and the car didn't start. All right. And so, and it happens to be the relay. All right. So I'm going to have another video attached to this video on how the relay works so you can kind of understand it. So, but basically, I'll show you another trick that we do to make this not happen as often. One, I leave the cover off, okay, so that we can get more airflow over here so that it keeps these relays cooler. I have taken this type of relay and drilled little holes in the plastic to get more airflow, and that seems to help, okay? Now, I don't know why they did this or if it was even intentional, but on the NB ones, you can actually pop the cover off. It takes 3 hands. But there's 2 little tabs right here. If I can see if I can get it off. Usually have to have a helper. But this cover will come off. And then when you get the cover off, I almost got it. I just run it without the cover. And that way it gets plenty of airflow. And I'm not going to spend an hour trying to fight it off, but it gets plenty of airflow and it runs a lot cooler. All right, so that's another trick that you can do is just take this cover off. And maybe when I go into the classroom and draw the relay on there, I'll pop this one off and I'll show it to you, okay? So that's what I find is going on with these Miatas, and as they're getting older, it just seems to be happening more and more to more of them. When I first ran into this problem, it was I had my number 60 car would go through these relays. We used to keep a bag of them in the trunk just in case when they went bad. And so that was the first car I had to start having problems. And then we kind of figured out how to make it to where it didn't do it very often, if any at all anymore. I haven't remember the last time we put a relay in that car. We used one of these with the cover off. And then it just seems like more of my cars started doing it over the years. And it just seems as these things get older, they just put a lot more stress on this relay. I think it's the amperage on them is becoming greater. Either it's a ground problem or something like that is going on with these cars as they get old. And then there's a little diode inside here that it burns out. So that's the problem. But by keeping this thing cool, I've pretty much eliminated having to have main relay problems. The other way I could do it is there's actually 4 pins right here. So there's 4 pins down here. 2 of them we could just jump with a wire and it would start. I'm not sure which 2 right here right now. I'd have to look up in a wiring schematic. But The only problem is that it would make the battery go dead because it's going to act like the key's on all the time. So you'd have to pull it out. But in a case of an emergency where somebody's on the grid and we're going out for a race and the relay goes bad and we don't have one in our pocket, we could take a jumper wire, and I'll look up the schematic and I'll post that up in the classroom when we go in there. All right. So, but hey, I wanted to let you know what this is and then what does it take to fix it. And let's go on over to the classroom. Okay, we're in the classroom, and we're in Colfax, California with my first period class. Say hi, class. Hi. There you go. All right, and they're a bunch of goof-offs. Anyhow, so we're here in class, and I told you I wanted to bring you into the classroom and show you the relay. Hey, I got that relay off, the cover off, and this is what it looks like. So this is out of an NB, and this one's out of an NA, but they're basically exactly the same, except this one, the cover doesn't pop off. So I popped the cover off of this, and we're going to get back to this in a minute. So let me explain to you how the relay works, okay? So up here I have the wiring schematic for engine performance on a 94 Miata, okay? And that's what that is, but they're all the same, okay? So if I look right here, it says main relay, left rear of engine compartment. You might want to get in close there, Liam. Got Liam doing the videotaping. All right, so right here, main relay, left rear of engine compartment. So it's in that fuse box where I showed you, okay? We went back there and we said the car didn't start, and I showed you where this is at, okay? And then there's also these other relays. Here's a fuel pump and all kinds of other stuff. All right, so there's basically 4 wires that are going to the relay. And if I look at the relay, I can see the 4 wires going right here, okay? So we'll start from the far left. So this black and white wire that goes on this side actually comes from the engine fuse, which is hot in run or start. So this is only hot when you have the key on, and the power comes through here, goes up this black and white wire. Remember I told you there was a diode in there? It's right here, and that's when the relay goes bad, that's the part that goes bad. This little diode pops right here, and then the whole thing is dead. It comes back around and it comes to this. What that loop symbol is actually these coil windings inside here. If you take 12 volts and you run it through a whole bunch of windings like that, that becomes a magnet, all right? So that is now an electric magnet that we are controlling with the ignition switch, okay? So when we have the switch either in run or start, we're sending power to this, we make our own magnet, our magnet right here, okay? And then the black wire coming out is simply going to ground, and it tells you it's on the left rear of the engine compartment, it's a ground, it's a black wire, and that's our return to the battery, okay? So that's one complete circuit right there, and we're basically, the load is the magnet. So it's not a light or a motor, like here's a fuel pump motor, it's not a motor, but it is a load. We made our own load by making a magnet, okay? Now, if you see this dotted line going across, it goes to a switch, and right now the switch is off. So if we turn the magnet on, we're going to move the switch over to this pole right here, and then where does this come from? So we have white and green, and it goes to this fuel injected fuse, number 30 fuse. This one's out on the, I think this one's out on the fender well. And it's hot all the time. That means there's constant power. We got power going to here all 24/7, okay? And then when we turn the magnet on, we bring the switch over to here. Now the power comes through here and it goes to this white and red wire. I want you to look at this white and red wire, okay? I want you to check this out. The white and red wire goes to the fuel pump. It goes down this way, which ends up going to the coil packs, the computer. Over here, it's going to all the injectors. The white and red wire is the main artery for all of the computer fuel injection parts and the ignition, the spark, the coil packs, and the cam angle sensor and the crank position. It's all of those things. So when you don't have power going to that white and red wire, everything is dead. The car won't start. So when the relay goes bad because that diode goes bad, the switch doesn't turn on, and therefore all of this is dead. And you end up with, like we showed you earlier, where you crank the car and it doesn't start, okay? So how do we fix that? Well, like I told you in this one here, I took the cover off. Now, if we take a quick look here, we can see a couple things about this relay, okay? So I see the magnet right in there. And if I look to the end here, look here, there's a switch right here. So when that magnet comes on, it completes the circuit and it powers up this terminal right here. So these two right here are the is the magnet part of it, and these two wires here are, you know, going to the white and red wire. Okay, so that's the relay. So we did an experiment I've never done before. All right, just a couple minutes ago, and I want to show you that experiment. All right, so for that, we're going to use this. All right, and what we're going to do, and is I never did this before today, but I knew it would probably work, is that I took the relay out of the car and I jumped it right here. Okay, I jumped it, and let's go see what happens. So either the car is going to start or we're going to burn up the harness. So you still keep filming there, Liam. All right, Justine, we need you in the car to start it. We can all go back out there and we'll try it out. So follow me out to the shop. Come on, Justine, we need you. Same thing when we tell you. Okay. Come on in tight, Liam. I know it's hard to see because there's not much light right here. But here's where it plugged in, where the relay plugged in right here. Okay, so here's the relay, and the relay plugged in right here. So maybe one of you guys could bring your phone over here with a light so we could light it up so they could see it. Bring it up. Come on, Nico. So I just took just a piece of wire and I cut a couple ends out of it. Get down here, Nico. So you can see here are my 4 wires, okay? These 2 are for the magnet and these 2 are for the switch. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna jump the switch, because remember, one of them was hot all the time. The other one was only hot with a key on. Okay, so now we have it jumped, all right? Don't stand in front of the car, Nico. Okay, in case Justine put it in gear. All right, go ahead and see if it starts. Okay, so now you see that we could jump the relay and still start the car, all right? So if I'm at the track on the grid and we're in a hurry and I don't have a damn relay in my pocket, you know, or it's the weekend and we don't have an extra one, then I know that we can still drive the car by jumping that relay, all right? So I just showed you. Now, I'm not going to show you how to make it crank, because then you're stealing cars and you go, oh yeah, A+ Racing taught us how to steal cars. Every one of these kids in here is asking me, well, how do you get it to crank so they can steal the cars? So anyhow, that works, all right? Well, we're not going to do that on this car. So we're going to go back to the relay and we're just going to plug it in there. And I'm just going to leave that cover off. And we're not going to put this back on either, because it'll help keep it cool. And I don't think we're going to have any more problems with this. Hey, A+ Racing, thank you for being a part of our video. I'll see you at the racetrack. Bye now.